The Israeli military said it unleashed the massive strike Saturday aiming at Hamas' mysterious army commander in southern Gaza that slaughtered no under 90 people including children, as per nearby well-being officials. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said, "There still isn't complete certainty whether Mohammed Deif and a second Hamas commander Rafa Salama were hit." And Hamas dismissed the suggestion that Deif was in hiding there, saying, "This is a failed attempt to cover up for this horrific massacre. It occurred in an area that Israel's military had said was safe for hundreds of thousands of Palestinians." Israel suspects that Deif and Hamas' most powerful official in Gaza, Yahya Sinwar, were the masterminds of the October 7th attack which. The Israeli strike on the home of Hamas military chief Mohammed Deif came at a delicate moment in the ongoing ceasefire efforts between Israel and Hamas. Deif's death would represent a major victory for Israel and a significant psychological blow to Hamas. It could also provide Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu with a potential opening to advance his goals. On Saturday, Netanyahu reiterated that Israel will not end the war in Gaza until Hamas' military capabilities are fully destroyed. He stated that all Hamas leaders are marked for death, saying, "We will reach them all." However, Netanyahu did not explain how he knew there were no hostages nearby when the strike occurred. The killing of Deif, who has been in hiding for over 2 decades and is believed to be paralyzed, could encourage Hamas to harden its positions in the ongoing ceasefire negotiations. Deif is one of the few known Hamas leaders, with only an old ID photo released by Israel being widely circulated. The strike was one of the deadliest incidents of the war, with the Gaza Health Ministry reporting 90 killed and at least 300 injured. Witnesses described multiple strikes in the area. The Israeli military claimed that additional terrorists hit among civilians and said the strike targeted a Hamas compound, not a tent complex. The attack occurred in the Mawasi area, which had been designated as a safe zone for Palestinians fleeing the conflict. Over 80% of Gaza's 2.3 million residents have been displaced, seeking shelter in tents with limited basic services. Footage from the aftermath showed a large crater, charred tents, and burnt-out vehicles. Victims were transported to the hospital in various makeshift ways, with many wounded being treated on the floor due to the overwhelming number of casualties. The strike drew condemnation from neighboring Egypt, a mediator in the ceasefire talks, which criticized the shameful silence and lack of action from the international community. Egyptian, Qatari, and U.S. mediators have been working to narrow the gaps between Israel and Hamas over a proposed 3-phase ceasefire and hostage release plan. Netanyahu stated that Israel would not back down from the U.S.-backed proposal, but listed several conditions, including the right to continue the war until its goals are achieved, the return of as many hostages as possible in the first stage, and the prevention of arms smuggling into Gaza. The conflict in Gaza has resulted in the deaths of over 38,400 people and the wounding of more than 88,000, according to the Gaza Health Ministry, which does not distinguish between combatants and civilians in its count.